Alright, we'll take a look at the new HP OMEN X. This one features a premium looking design, an overclocked GPU, and you can find a model with an overclockable CPU. These laptops are fully loaded and they're meant to be the ultimate gaming laptop. Let's see if it's worth picking up. Let's go and break down the specs for my configuration. This one comes with a Core i7-7700HQ, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, GTX 1080 with 8GB of GDDR5, 256 SSD, 17-inch Full HD IPS panel running at 120Hz, and the retail starting price is $17.99. However, this model comes in at $21.49. Let's take a look at inside this laptop. You got your 99Wh battery pack, 1TB drive running at 7200 RPM, dual fan setup, 16GB RAM, but you can expand to 32GB, 256 NVMe SSD, which is pretty fast, but not wicked fast. And you also get a second M.2 slot here for future upgrades. You can also configure this laptop in the RAID 0 for ultimate performance. The aluminum lid is rock solid and very sturdy, and the keyboard deck is very rigid. The palm rest has a full sheet of brushed aluminum, but the downside here is this thing is a fingerprint magnet. You'll always find smudges while gaming away. I love the design of the new OMEN X. It doesn't look too flashy like most gaming laptops. She's pretty heavy though and thick, coming in at 10.73 pounds and 1.43 inches thick. On the left you got your security lock slot, USB 3, headset jack, and your microphone input. On the right side you got an SD card reader, an additional USB 3, and your charging port. I really like how they have most of your main ports here towards the back. You got your RJ45 Ethernet, 2 Thunderbolt 3s, mini display port, HDMI 2, and a USB 3. After thinking about it, I kind of wish the charging port was back here as well. The top section of the HP OMEN X definitely feels premium, and it looks and feels good. It's made out of aluminum, and you also have these logos right here that will light up. I'll show you in just a bit. I was a bit disappointed to find out the bottom panel was made out of all plastic. At this price point, I was expecting aluminum. But the cool thing here is the clear plastic window. You can see the main red board. These two metal hinges may look flimsy for a 17-inch laptop, but it definitely feels strong and sturdy. However, we'll find out within a year. My model features a 17-inch Full HD IPS panel running at 120Hz, and the color accuracy is very good. It's coming at 97% of sRGB and 75% of Adobe RGB. The viewing angle is also pretty good as well, and keep in mind you can also order a 4K panel that runs at 60Hz. I personally prefer the 1080p G-Sync panel running at 120Hz, as the games look super smooth like butter. This laptop features a mechanical keyboard with an N-key rollover. Typing on it feels very comfortable. It has 2.5mm of key travel, and the tactile feedback just feels super awesome. This keyboard has some cool customizations and options. For example, you have the N-key rollover. The RGB keyboard is also individually backlit, which is top notch. And HP also gives you 9 pre-programmed lighting animations that look awesome. You can have some macro keys as well, so you can have the upper edge while gaming. Just listen to how awesome this keyboard sounds. The Synaptics-based trackpad offers very good precision, tracking, 2-finger scrolling, and multi-touch was on the money. Plus, you get 2 physical buttons for even more control. There are 2 speakers powered by Bang & Olufsen, and the sound quality actually sounds pretty good. The mids and highs are well balanced. The only knock here is the low end can sound weak, as there is a missing subwoofer. With 8GB of GDDR5, this chip is a freaking monster, and a beast, whatever you want to call it. This thing can handle almost anything you throw at it. Here we have one of the most demanding games on the market, Witcher 3. I have it running at 1080p on ultra settings, and I'm getting an average around 75 to 85 frames per second. Just look at the detail in the graphics. This thing is freaking amazing. And I know many of you guys are going to wonder about Overwatch performance, so here it is. On Epic settings at 1080p, I'm getting an average around 150 to 180 frames per second. Overall, this GTX 1080 is overclocked directly from HP, and it offers incredible performance. I've been definitely impressed. The thermal system on this laptop has been very efficient. You have 2 large fans pulling in air from the bottom and pushing it towards the side and the back. So basically you have 4 3.5mm heat pipes that move heat away from the GPU and CPU. With the GTX 1080 inside, I was expecting much more heat, but I was proven wrong, as this CPU and GPU combination begs to be pushed. Maximum GPU temperature I got was around 85 degrees Celsius, and the average was around 80 degrees Celsius. Now keep in mind, with this much horsepower in the hood, these temperatures are pretty impressive. At idle, the fan usually hovers around 32 decibels, and at medium load around 40, and at maximum load while gaming around 52 decibels. Here's a pretty cool app for your OMEN X. This is the OMEN Command Center, where you have access to your GPU, CPU, and memory management. Next up we have your RGB backlit lighting control options here, and your HP OMEN X logo options. Next up we have your macro configurations here. Here you can customize some crazy combination keys. And last but not least is your network booster. Battery life has been adequate. I'm getting an average around 4 to 5 hours out of this 99Wh battery pack with medium screen brightness. If you want a game on a battery pack, you can get about an hour. HP also equipped this laptop for fast charging, where you can charge this laptop up to 50% power while in shutdown mode. The power brick is a behemoth. It's packing 330 watts because the GTX 1080 needs a lot of juice to keep her going. This year has been all about the X. This OMEN X laptop is a super strong powerhouse that is meant for the serious gaming enthusiasts that won't settle for anything less. This laptop has a strong Kaby Lake Core i7 at 7700 HQ, but you can get the overclockable HK chips for even better performance. The factory overclocked GTX 1080 offers incredible gaming performance that can tackle on any of today's most demanding games. The mechanical keyboard is badass. It just feels great to have a laptop with this kind of keyboard. The customization options on this keyboard and RGB lights are endless. 256 NVMe SSD is pretty quick, but not the fastest I've seen. But keep in mind you can run a RAID 0 configuration for super fast speeds. The 17-inch 1080p 120Hz IPS anti-glare screen is a beauty to look at. Games are buttery smooth. However, if you prefer more pixels, you can opt for the 4K model. The cooling system that HP engineered has been superb. I was expecting a lot more heat with this kind of CPU and GPU combo, but she kept begging to be pushed. If you want to take it to the next level, be sure to configure your model with the overclockable HK series chips and the faster Intel XMP DDR4 RAM, which run at 2800 MHz. The only cons I have is its price tag, weight, and I really wish there was a subwoofer. But if you want the ultimate portable gaming machine, then you gotta pay to play. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on pricing because right now my unit just went on sale from $2149 to $1949. And the base model with the GTX 1070 is now $1549. I guess these are their Black Friday specials. Well, that about wraps up my full review on the HP OMEN X 17. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.